Yes guys, how's it going? And welcome back to another episode of the MONOPOSTO 2023 track guide series. And today we are going to be taking a look at the Hungaroring, Budapest, Hungary. This is a very tight, technical little track. There's not too many opportunities to overtake, but today, as always, we're going to be breaking it down corner by corner. I'm going to be showing you all of the common misconceptions and then comparing it with my hot lap, my best attempt at how to master this circuit. So if you're looking forward to it, please be sure to smash the like button, click subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you're finding this series helpful, then do leave a comment down below, and now let's get straight into it. Okay, so as is tradition with the rest of these videos, we start off in the pit lane and we're going to talk about setup. Now Hungary, as I mentioned, it's quite a twisty circuit in general, so some people even refer to it as Monaco without the barriers, so therefore you want an awful lot of downforce. There you go, not quite full downforce, because there are a couple of sections where you do get up to 7th and maybe even touch into 8th gear. I'll point those out as we go down, mainly on the pit straight. But that on the screen there was the setup I kind of like to use. As I say, ignore the first two, mainly just concentrate on the aerodynamic setup, which is having the slider level with the G in grip in terms of how much downforce you want on the car. So starting off at the Hungaroring, you want to be an ERS, certainly by the time you get to the DRS detection point, and then you want to hug the inside and then come as wide as you possibly can on the exit. You can ride over that curb, open up DRS, use the runoff, keep your car on the left hand side as we're starting a track of the Hungaroring. First thing to point out is turn 1 is arguably the hardest corner on the track, because if you turn in too late, you completely underestimate how shallow that apex actually gets. And I spun off many times in practice, so I find it much easier and much less likely to crash if you play it safe, brake in a straight line, use as much of the track as you possibly can. So use all of this. However, before you get to the, you don't want to sort of make sure the curb is straddling your car. This is the kind of position you want. You can have your left-hand tyres on the curb, but this position right now I wouldn't use, especially if you're braking the straight line, because don't forget, after the blue runoff ends, that just goes straight to grass. So it's downhill, technical little right-hander, hug the inside curb, you'll open up DRS, and you can come slightly wide on the exit to the blue runoff there, and then you just want to take the path of least resistance, DRS and ERS opened up down this very short straight. This time it's braking at the 50-meter board, car on the right hand side. Again, just then you want to come over to the right hand side on here, switch back over to the left. Again, this is all about taking the path of least resistance, and you'll be up into ERS once again. Use some of this runoff, and now we get to the what some people like to take flat, but trust me, you cannot take this corner flat. I can't remember what corner number it is. That's what happens if you take it flat. You can see the rear end totally doesn't like that, so it's either a slight lift or one smidgy little downshift. Either would probably do just fine. And then for this next right-hander, long swooping, you want to just dab on the brake, let the car roll through a lot of this corner, hug the inside, come wide on the exit, maximize as much of the track as you possibly can. Use this runoff as well, because that might hopefully get the extra odd mile per hour, which can make all the difference. Then for this chicane, it's braking at the 50-meter board, or if you feel more confident like me, trail braking, then you can brake when the start of the red and white curb on the left-hand side. You want to really make sure you attack this, use all of that inside curb and all of that curb, and use the curb on the exit. These curbs will be kind to you. I've tested it a couple of times, so unless you're incredibly erratic with the steering, which is quite difficult to be in a corner like that, then they shouldn't spin you out. Then again, through these next sort of S's, you want to ride over that curb, to use the runoff, come through. You can potentially touch the curb on the right hand side there as you get in towards this corner. Again, you can't possibly take this corner flat, you just steer off, and as soon as you come back onto the track, you're just going to spin out. So I would advise, again, just one tiny little downshift just before you get to the corner, and then you can get immediately straight back onto full throttle, up into ERS if you've got any left by this point. Now to this next corner, you want to be braking at the 50-meter board. Dive bombs are plenty. This is one of the only half-decent overtaking opportunities at this track. To be honest, I'd be more confident going for a move here than at turn 1, just because the corner's a lot more opened out. So it's straight line braking, bam, at the 50-meter board, touch that inside curb. You can ride the curb on the exit as well if you need to, and then you want to bring your car straight back over to the right-hand side over here. Use all of this blue runoff, brake and turn in gradually at the 50-meter board. Just, you can let the car roll a bit, just gradual inputs of throttle will do nicely, or you can brake earlier and then just get on the throttle up into ERS before you come through this long hairpin up into ERS as well, and then you want to come open DRS, come wide on the exit, and that concludes our lap of Hungary. So it is quite a technical little circuit, nothing too complicated though. There's certainly been track guides which will be more complicated than that yet to come, like Singapore, that was requested recently. It is coming up, we're just going through all the tracks in order. Anyway, I hope you found this one useful. If you did, please be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.